Why have killings of women become so rampant in Jamaica?
It is a breakdown in our communication capabilities. You know, this notion of gender-based violence and intimate partner violence is very much topical right now because people are doing more analysis about how it is that, you know, in relationships, the power that is distributed usually, of course, is a masculine kind of power. And of course, in Jamaica, women are not going to take kindly always to being dominated. It's like that, you know. So the pushback, both in terms of women's socioeconomic advancement, because of course more women are going to acquire higher education, and the more education that you acquire, then the more you are aware of the paradox between accepting this God is the head of man, man is the head of woman kind of hierarchy, which is how we are cultured. That's the kind of teaching that most people are exposed to because we are a heavily Christianized society. Per capita in the world, Jamaica has the most churches. So, of course, Christianity was one of the mechanisms that colonialism employed for psychosocial control. And it is working to this day, to the extent that people still believe that God looks white, you know, in the way that they were brainwashed to believe in the enslavement system. So, by extension, the whole patriarchal notion that power is masculine and that women should be subordinate to this power is at the root of the violence that happens in the household. And if you look at the statistics, the pattern is that domestic violence is responsible for a lot of the murders that we see happening in the society. So beyond the men who are the chief perpetrators and victims, you also have women being caught up in this web of violence. And it is speaking to the fact that we have not done the healing that should have taken place after 1834, come 1838, when we were so-called emancipated. But then again, we have to contend with all the contradictions, because if we still have the Queen as the head of the state, then we can't really claim that full-bodied, full-blooded, full-fledged emancipation. And so with all this uncertainty about who we are as a nation, who we are as a people, who we are even as individuals, then it is very problematic. People don't work out before they start to have sex and children, whether they can communicate effectively with each other. So then the children enter the picture, and before you know it, you're unemployed, and that's a trigger for violence, especially for men who are supposed to be breadwinners. And if they're not winning any bread, then of course the pressure comes from the woman to say, hey, you're not a real man. And that again can wound his ego, and then he can take it out on her. And again, because of the whole gang violence pattern, you see that again women become direct and indirect victims in this maelstrom of human hemorrhaging that we're hell-bent on doing. And it's out of the control of the security forces, it's out of control of the communities, and I don't know if we have the will, politically speaking, or even in terms of our social dynamics, to fix it. We're a country that is in the top 3 when it comes to murder capitals of the world, El Salvador, Colombia being close seconds. So we have a problem.
Well, let me hear you say,